So in a post yesterday, I shared this anatomy quiz, and we wanted to understand a little bit about how a human being moves. So based on a still shot, you can predict what a person was doing a moment ago and what they are about to do. Not always, obviously, and not with perfect accuracy. There's always some room for debate, and there's room for the person to change their mind at any time. We're very adaptable. However, there are some big clues that we can look at to start to get a really good prediction of where this person has been and where they're going. So let's get right to it. So the first thing that I want you to pay attention to with this person is, where is their weight, generally speaking? Is their weight more over to this side? Is their weight more over to this side? Forward, backwards, upwards, downwards, etc. And I would say that their weight is sort of centered and slightly in this direction. So it looks like a moment ago that they were headed in this direction. It looks like they probably were over here and they swung over, maybe jumped into this position and landed. That's what it looks like to me. So when they landed, let's just assume that they landed. They land with their weight in more on one foot, and I think it's pretty obvious that their momentum is moving in this direction. But I don't think that they're going to keep going in this direction. I think they've absorbed all of their shock into this foot here, and I think that they have absorbed a great deal of the momentum in their arms, because their arms are not forward, they're rotating around, and that creates this sort of shock absorbing sort of torque like a wind up. So you wind up Jack in the Box and then it pops, or you wind up one of those rubber bands on one of those little flighty airplanes, and then you let the rubber band go, and that torque allows the airplane to propel forward. So I think that this person is winding up. And if they're winding up, I think overall they're crouched down, their center of mass is here, and I think it's moving downward. I think they're trying to absorb some energy, some impact downward. And like I already pointed out, I think they're also trying to absorb that impact with rotation. So that creates sort of an overarching theme. If you kind of you split the difference between these two directions that this person is throwing their momentum. And overall, this person is moving this way, right? Now, I don't think they're going to keep moving that way, though. So I think that's where they are right now. They're loading everything into this direction, but I think they're going to spring back in the opposite direction. So again, if you pull back like a slingshot and you let it goes in the opposite direction that you pulled it. So you pull the slingshot this way, then which way is the slingshot going to go? Well, the slingshot is going to go this way, right? So I believe that this person is going in this direction, right? And here's why I don't think that they're going to go in. A lot of people thought they were going to go in the direction towards C. So let's explore that. So if this person were going to go towards C, then, so here's C. And if they were going to go in this direction, well, it does make sense, right? Their head is looking right at it. And we tend to think that our head looks where we go. So that makes sense. And their hips are, reasonably square. So, okay, so maybe they're going in C direction. Well, their hips would be like this regardless of whether they were going C or A. So that doesn't tell us the difference. Their weight, look at their weight. Their weight is more on this leg than it is on the other leg, which again, it could be like that if they were going to go forward. What about their shoulders? Well, their shoulders and their arms give away why they're not going in the forward direction, right? Because their shoulders and their arms, let's keep that again. So their shoulders and their arms do not add up with C. So in red, I've highlighted all the things that are going to go towards C. However, in blue, I will highlight things that would go towards A. So we're just kind of adding up the puzzle pieces. So the hips can go in that direction. The shoulders are the biggest clue of all, because the shoulders are clearly wound up in this direction, which means that when they spring back, they're gonna rotate in the opposite direction. So this person is about to rotate their upper body to the right, which would propel them towards A. And the biggest clue of all is the arms. So the arms are not facing forward. The arms have swung in this direction, right? So let's clear away some of this mess and let's take a look at the arms again. So the arms are, this is kind of a sideways. This is like a sideways momentum, right? So they're going around. They're trying to throw this momentum around with their arms. If they were going, so this is all adding up towards A. If they were going towards C, their arms would be moving forward like this, but they're not. They're not even close, right? Their arms, instead of being here, would be like here, right? And instead of being here, okay, let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So instead of having their arm right here, you would have it more like right here, right? So that would be more of an arm position that is going to propel them forward. Cool? But they don't have that. They don't have that at all. So I think it's because of all of these options. Oh, and one last thing too in favor of this sideways momentum is that their upper body is leaning sideways, right? It's not straight up, it's sideways. And again, that to me says they're preparing to explode back in this sideways direction. Cool? So they've got all their weight loaded up here. It's going down and sideways. From their leg, they're going to explode, boom, in this direction. And from their arms, which have wound up in this direction, they're going to explode back in the opposite direction. So, again, the simple way of saying it is they've wound up in this direction, which means they're going to go back in this direction. So this is sort of the plane that they're moving in, right? Or they wound up here, and so they're going to go here. Yeah? Cool. So I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if that did help, or if you have any more questions about it, and I will see you in the next video.